Basket Brains, Disc Doors, and Frisbee Freaks. Emerald City Disc proudly brings to you the greatest podcast in the world. Kirby Snyder, aka Darkwing Disc, the Fairway Finder, Ollie DePina. This is
K.O.
Disc Golf Show. Welcome to episode 105. This is the Marowak episode. It's Wrestlemania week. In honor of that, this is episode the 105 Knuckle Shuffle, the 105 time WCW champion, and the 105 star Frog Splash. Welcome to KO Disc Golf Show. KO question of the week. Who do you think is the Greg Maddux of disc golf? This one's kind of have a lot of nuance to it, but comment down below who you think is the Greg Maddux of disc golf, and we'll get to it at the end of the episode. Ollie, how you doing, man? How's it going?
It's going. This morning, as it is Tuesday morning, I had to go and over the weekend, I had some great tournaments lined up, one at Jackson, one at Laura Palmer. And on Saturday morning on my way to Jackson, I got into a car accident, unfortunately, and my car is possibly totaled, and it's just quite a bummer. I'm okay, the other person's okay, so that's all, the most important part, but it is quite a bummer. This is my first car, so I'm like, I've had it for like 5 years, so I'm like, just like bummed out, It's like a lot of memories in there. I drove it to San Diego. I like drove it to San Francisco when I first met Roxy. I remember going out with Roxy and her friends and singing in the car and stuff. So, there's just a lot of memories with it. So, I was taking videos as it's like leaving and stuff, and the guy's like hooking it up and stuff. But the video, when I'm taking it to leave, he has it like hooked up on the back, and it like totally, the back just hits the like floor. And so in my video, it's like, just like, what? And I'm like,
Funny, yeah.
I'm just like kind of bummed with that. But yeah, I'm okay. I woke up pretty sore I took a nap on Saturday, woke up pretty sore, and then Sunday was feeling like a pretty okay, but like definitely not 100%, which was like, but definitely a lot better. So I was like, nothing seriously, hopefully, is hurting with that. And, but yeah, dealing with insurance right now and everything with that. And now I don't have a car. It's kind of hidden right now. So I just don't have a car right now, but.
Yeah, you told me a little bit about it on Saturday. You said a woman was trying to do a U-turn on
the Ballard Bridge.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's like at the first part when you kind of get on the north side, and it's like 2 lanes on each side, so it's like 2 smaller lanes, and she was on the lane, like her left side lane going south, and she tried to do a U-turn and like literally couldn't even get past like this part, and I'm going down the hillside there, and I'm like braking as much as I can. That's why I think like it wasn't as bad as it was, but it was so scary and so out of control. Like, cause it's like I didn't like make that maneuver, so I didn't know, and she did it so quickly where I'm like, the most I could do is brake, and when I realized like I wasn't coming to a stop, like it was just like over. And
you're just sliding on the road.
Yeah, it's just like, I've been on like driving to, like, I drove to work last night, but it's like, I don't really like driving right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's like I don't know, definitely like that was like a freak out. Like I didn't do anything wrong, and the accident still happened. It's just like someone literally doing anything can just change your day in an instant like that, where it's just like, it just bummed me out, and like, I don't know, but I'm okay. And that, like it could have been so much worse, and like it wasn't, and I'm glad, and so hopefully I'm just dealing with insurance this week and looking for a new car. Hey, any KO listeners that's thinking about selling your car, I know the guy. How you doing, Curb?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Definitely avoided any fender benders or anything like that this week, so that was cool. Yeah, Ellie's at her mom's this week. Ellie's mom is in New Orleans, visiting some friends and that. So Ellie's over there hanging out with the cats and making sure that they're all good for the week. So house to myself, which is, I mean, Ellie kept being like, oh, how excited, like, you can do whatever you want to do. And I was like, I already do. I was like, there's nothing that I'm going to do at the house this week that I wouldn't do when you're home normally. So really, it's just about having like a little quiet of a house. definitely like so we ran the tournament on Sunday and I had like just a dummy kind of morning. I wake up real early, make myself breakfast, and then I wanted to run to the store before I ran to South Fork Landing because I wanted to pick up a few more things for the little pop-up store that we do. And I get down to and as I'm driving from my house down to the store, I just have this like thought in the back of my head that's like, you definitely turned off the stove, right? And then I couldn't break it. So I've never left the stove on. You know, I'm really diligent about turning it off when I'm done using it, but at the same time, I get to the store and I'm checking on the time and I just kind of think to myself, you know, screw it. And I went from my house to ECD, back to my house, and then down to South Fork Landing. And I walk in my house and the cats are like, Dad, you're home. This is great. And I was like, yeah, you know, hang on, guys. And I run over to the stove and I check the stove and of course it's off. Of course it's off. Of course I turned it off. And then just head out. But I had that thought in my head. I was like, you know, Ellie's not here or Ellie's, you know, Ellie's at her mom, so I can't just text her and be like, "Hey, when you wake up, make sure I turn the stove off" and all that kind of stuff. So, um, it all worked out in the end. But I just, you know, the whole time, once I left my house again and I was heading to South Fork, I was like, "You freaking idiot!" And then timing wise was really funny too because I pulled in the parking lot right as Don was like backing into his parking spot, so everything worked out super well timing wise. But just felt like such a dummy, you know. Um, Besides that, I've been going to Dubs at Lakewood on Thursdays. That's been a
Oh,
lot of fun.
nice.
One this past week. I've had this guy Justin on my card the last 2 weeks. Guy's awesome. He's a really great putter, super good vibes. Been cool hanging out with him. We had Spencer Stewart on our card last week too. That guy's the man. I really like playing with
What
him.
time is that at?
5:30 on Thursdays.
When does it usually get done?
Uh, about 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Somewhere kind of in that time frame. We
Well,
finished
I'm
pretty
like,
quick.
it's like kind of down by where I work at. I'm like, I wonder if I could just like hop in before a stream, play a little dubs
Maybe.
or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, I want to say there was like 18 people there the other day
Nice.
last week. So it was a really nice day too. So that's definitely gonna, you know, encourage a lot more people to come out. So,
For sure.
but yeah, I've been closing the store just at 5 o'clock on Thursdays instead of the regular 6 o'clock and putting up a sign that just says went to Dubs and then just kind of heading over that classic like golf kind of stuff. So, it's been a lot of fun though. It's been really, really good to kind of mix it up and also kind of be like out there kind of talking to people about, you know, the changes that are happening and kind of getting like, you know, hearing people's opinions of them, which is like
Yeah.
okay, like I'm all about hearing like even if you don't like the way a hole is set up or something like that, I totally understand. I'm also not pumped about some of the changes that we have to make, but um just you know being able to talk to people about it and kind of like hear their opinions and make sure that everyone's voices is heard is really important to me. So um yeah, it's just good to kind of be out there and mixing up with people. Um, I got a fun message the other day from one of the guys who does a lot of stuff up at Gold Park. He told me that I've been doing so I do that Better Than Perfect series out there,
Yeah.
and he told me that some of the guys in the Linwood Parks Department office have like been sending my videos like around to each other or kind of like throughout the system to kind of show like hey this park is getting so clean and is getting used and just kind of showcasing that park in a positive light which just when I got that message I was just like man that's so awesome like that's such a cool feeling to be like I'm just kind of doing this fun video but it is kind of benefiting that park at the same time which feels like really nice and I just you know I love playing there so much so it's just so cool to see that like you know the efforts that are kind of getting put into it are being shown off and then that is also gonna getting put into the right place and you know people are recognizing it you know in that higher up kind of spot so hopefully you know when those guys go to them in the future and ask for X Y and Z you know they see all the positive that's coming
Mm-hmm.
from it and you know they're a lot more enticed to do stuff like that so really cool and like I said I love that place so much it's so much fun so so last week was episode 104, which is technically like 2 full years of doing this show. April 9th was actually the very first day that we did the first episode.
That's
Chuck sent me
crazy.
Chuck sent me a screenshot, said happy birthday, you know, did all that kind of stuff. It's been awesome. I mean, 2 years of just kind of like messing around on here, just kind of updating on and, you know,
I
giving shout outs
swear
to the
it
local
was like
community.
not that it's like ever feels like it was a lot, but it like I swear like episodes like 1 through 50 were like felt like that first year felt like so long, and then that next year just felt like a lot less of recording. I don't know. That second year went by so quickly. Oh my gosh.
For sure. Yeah, it became such a like a routine. And even like
Yeah,
Ellie would be like, "Oh, it's Tuesday." Ellie would be like, "It's Monday night. Are you recording tonight? Or are you recording tomorrow morning?" And it was just kind of such part of the my week to week routine now, which is
a
so.
hundred
I mean, I love
percent,
it.
100%.
And it's so cool. Like Austin Myers, like I ran into him this weekend, and like I feel like I have like a like kind of a connection with him because he follows the show and comments so much and that kind of stuff. So it's just so cool. Like we're kind of building this like small community of sorts. Um, and I'm just really appreciative of everybody that tunes in and wants to hang out with us every week. So I'm going to do a giveaway. I have a Team Discmania stamped Founder. This is a really flippy mid-range. It is in glow plastic. Really looks super, super nice.
Jeez.
I'm going to be giving this away to the very first person who shares our YouTube video to the Northwest Disc Golfers Facebook group. So the first person
Hey,
that does that, the first person I see do that, is going to get awarded with this disc.
wait, wait,
It'll
wait,
be
wait. C do it or like actually have the timestamp do it?
I mean, it's really like I'll be checking pretty much like all my like once you post, I'll be
Okay,
checking the
okay.
Facebook pretty regularly.
Let
So
me know. Let me know if there's someone that goes. I'll throw in. I'll throw in. I'll juice the pot. We'll juice the pot for the first
cool, yeah,
person
yeah.
then.
We'll make sure for sure.
We'll
But yeah,
make
we'll
sure
figure it
the
out
love is shown for 2 years for sure.
definitely. So just appreciate everybody so much, and yeah. So yeah, go ahead and share the YouTube link over to the Northwest Disc Golf Facebook group. And then the last thing I kind of want to update everybody on, if you go to the KO Disc Golf Show Facebook, as I'm going to bring up right now, and uh, click on just kind of our profile, go over to the posts tab, and you're going to see that I have started posting just kind of like pictures of the local courses that we've already done course reviews on. I'd love for everybody to go in there and comment your rating of all those courses. When those posts get about five or so ratings, I'm going to average them out and put them into our overall course rating. And On top of that, I'm also going to add in UDisc to our overall course rating. So when we do these course ratings in the future, we're going to have a lot more than just like Ollie and I's rating that kind of go into the final number of like what the course is going to look like. So it's going to be more of a community driven overall rating, and that kind of thing. So you will have kind of your voice heard. Go in there, like I said, go to the posts section. What I'm doing is I'm kind of just finding screenshots of them and kind of just throwing them into like Canva and editing them a little bit, and then making those posts. So, like I said, go over there and make your comment and give us your opinion. Um,
We've gotten a real quick little KO stats. I just think this is cool. I think this is a peak of what we're at. Watch time in hours over the last 28 days, 94.4 hours. It's pretty cool.
nice.
And then we've had 13 subscribers in the last 28 days. So shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all showing love, finding us, getting in with some KO Disc Golf Show. Really do appreciate that.
You know what I think some of that generally is?
Huh.
Your little shout out at the end of the go throw thing.
Hey, I'm so
I
glad they left that.
Yeah, same. I
I'm
mean,
so
that had to have done something, right?
and if yeah, hey, it had to have done a little thing. And then like little comments, and we've been stepping it up. We've been stepping it up. We'll have some more shorts rolling out every week. These challenge videos, once
Mm-hmm.
I figure out my car situation, I get to a course. These challenge videos are gonna get knocked out. I swear.
For sure. Yeah, I'm about to hit like my little like mini tour of sorts as well. So yeah, I'll be doing a ton of content out there at like Champions or at OTB, like Beaver State Fling and stuff like that. I'll be doing all kinds of stuff. And Ollie and I, right after this, are going to do commentary on the Laura Palmer, which we're going to get into later. So tons of stuff, tons of content coming out from us. We're kind of getting into like prime season where we can really be ramping it up really nicely. So speaking of which, time for the tournament recap presented by Emerald City Discs. Tournament recap by
Emerald City. Emerald City.
Emerald City.
Emerald City Discs.
A bunch of tournaments happening this past weekend. First, we're going to go through is the Laura Palmer. Weather all day was awesome. I mean, it was really, really just a spectacular day. Mild breeze. There was really like no real rain of any sort. Not until Kayla, Don, and I went for another walk of the course afterwards, and it didn't even start sprinkling until like 7 o'clock. So the day was great. Um, we played the alternate layout to the course. It's the Mountain View Championship layout that we've done in the past. There's kind of like minor tweaks. Max and I are always kind of like looking to see like what kind of like little adjustments can we do to make the course um, more playable, flow better, just maybe like certain holes that maybe kind of need minor tweaking because like score differently. With the new tee pads to the course, that definitely kind of made things a little easier and kind of opened up some stuff that we wanted to do, like regular hole 13. In the past we've like created a new tee pad that's kind of been off to the side and kind of made it like a par 3 just because that tee pad's been so bad in the past, and now that the tee pad's new and great, it's like, all right, we're just going to play it as a par 4. And Max was really passionate about making that first, not, I wouldn't say passionate, but Max really likes making that first tree there, Amando left, so you kind of have to go up the chute. And it was like one of those, he really wanted to do it, and I didn't really have a I I think it's totally fine. So we went for it. I didn't see any issues there or anything. I didn't think that that was a dramatic backup or anything like that either. So I thought everything was totally fine there. Thought I played totally really well. The couple of water shots I thought were great. That first water shot, hole 13 in the tournament, that goes from 14's tee pad to that little peninsula over there. That's like, I think that shot is so much fun, and that was definitely something created by Max. So really cool there. The one kind of like negative, not I don't know negative, but the one like feed the piece of feedback I got the most was the hole right after that, hole 14, which goes from like 12's tee pad to 10's basket. There was just people that really wanted a drop zone there, and they were like, it's just too like. Just people didn't like the fact that there was no drop zone, and they didn't like where you went out was. And my defense is that it's a 200 and you know
Dude,
14 foot hole.
both rounds, I just juiced something like 150 feet past the basket. And I was like, what am I doing? I was just like, was I really
So
scared of
safe.
not making it across this? That like, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, so safe. Honestly, though, like I like it is like a touchy shot because like it's just far enough where you do have to like kind of throw something, but it's not far enough where you got to commit to a shot super hard
That's what
either.
I was doing. My brain's like, okay, we do got to throw it a little bit. We're throwing it kind of high up, we're going to let it die out and stall. You got to throw it a little bit. Throwing it a little bit. I'm like, oh my God.
Bro, round one, you like yeeted that
I
thing. I
think
was
I
like,
went further in
Jesus.
round two, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna make the correction, but we're still gonna have some power." I'm like, "Oh my!"
Jeez. So funny.
We're still getting, my body's getting back to it, but I'm excited, and I think not competing this week and getting some really good reps. I think one of my big walking places is gonna be taking my bag and walking up to Discovery Park and using that big field up there to just hone in on some discs and have some good time. I really did have a good time at this tournament, but there's some frustrations for sure with that.
Sure.
Um, I think I'm done with the DDs, man. I'm done with the distance drivers. Get them out of my bag.
I
Take them
see.
all. I think I need a disc down or just have like a little bit of time with some slower discs, just getting that control back, that feel back of consistency and stuff with some slower discs. I was having a really successful tournament with my T-Birds. My
I
T-Birds
saw
were
that.
my like literally every good shot. I felt like every distance shot, I feel like didn't that I went driver went horrible. Every distance shot that I went T-bird was like I just got the disc out of my hand, released correctly. It did what I wanted. Things like that where I was like, I don't and they were going like I definitely like full flights, I can get a lot further on those drivers, but then it's like for the lines that I'm throwing and needing to get out of, it's like I don't think I need much more disc than that. And like I think it was just kind of shown apparent there. So I got a bunch of T-birds that I have three in my bag currently, but I have a bunch that I'm gonna go play around with some T-bird threes, some other discs like that just aren't gonna keep it kind of below 10 and then try to see what I can do with that and just like kind of work really hone that in before getting back out there for some, but not too much longer. Just have some really good field work days and
Sure.
be consistent with it. I think is going to be a big part.
Yeah. Honestly though, like I think about that a lot too, where like I throw my CD1s like a 9 speed like so well and honestly like far enough where I do have that thought a lot of times of being like, am I really what am I sacrificing by throwing this CD1 and still throwing it just like straighter? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And sacrificing like 30 to 40 feet. Like is that really like is that like where is that making a huge difference? And like, I go to a place like kayak where that does make a difference.
yeah,
But
exactly.
for this layout, whereas like really like you're not even being asked to throw 400 plus feet on very many holes at all. Really, it's like, yeah, you can totally. And when I saw you throwing those T-birds, you were like chalking it up, man. You were throwing them great. So yeah, I think that's a great strategy to go for. Um, I had a really cool moment with Caleb and Max after the tournament. I've been kind of like bugging Caleb after the winter warm up over in Bremerton and over in Port Angeles. My putting was just like feeling so disconnected that I started bugging Caleb, being like, "Hey man, like time you're over, I really want to like steal you for 10 minutes and just talk putting a little bit and kind of I just want to ask some questions." And I went during the middle of the day. I ran to the grocery store. I bought some beers, came back to the tournament. So after the round, I was like, "Caleb, beers." And a couple of other people grabbed them, of course. I was like, "Yeah, come on, hang out." And Caleb and I grabbed our beers and kind of went down to the one of the alternate baskets down there, just to like partially clean it up, but then also like talk putting a little bit. And we kind of start getting into that, and we're kind of going over. He's telling me like he's so funny. He goes, "This is what your putt looks like," and then he proceeds to throw the worst putt I've ever seen. And he goes, "Well, not exactly like that." And I was like, "No, no, no, it's not that far off." I go, "Tell me more." But then he throws, so he's just kind of like telling me like, my putt's very nose up and kind of like righty. He goes, I'm trying to get the putter a little more kind of like instead of being here, a little more like kind of here on it, not like so extreme nose down, but just a little more in. He goes, I'm trying to hit like more kind of the bottom of the rings on the bottom of the bucket rather than kind of the middle, which is I'm aiming for the middle, Caleb's aiming for the bottom. So just kind of going through stuff like that, and then Max comes over, and Max is like, "Oh hey," he goes, "Oh shit, are we like working?" He goes, "I was just coming over to hang out," and then he starts getting into it, and then the three of us just like kind of just talked shop for a while and just kind of got into it, and it was like a really really good 30-minute putting practice session of everybody kind of bouncing ideas off of each other and really just Max and I really fine tuning like Caleb's brain and kind of picking it apart and asking Caleb questions that you could tell that he doesn't think about that stuff. So when we would ask him stuff, he goes, I don't know. And he would take a putter and like throw two putts and go, I think I'm doing this. And I'm like, hell yeah. Like so I think it was just so beneficial. I think it was especially for Max and myself because um, it really kind of helps like have me have some direction with my putting because right now I feel like I'm just out there putting and I'm just like trying stuff always just trying to see like what feels good or what's kind of like working better for me this day. But seeing someone like Caleb, who I've always said this, like Caleb is one of the best putters in the state. I'll stand by that. He's absolutely incredible at it, so consistent. So I just want to find a little bit of that consistency and that kind of thing. So being able to pick his brain was such a cool thing for me. So really appreciate just him and all that. So um uh after the tournament, as I mentioned, Kayla Dunn and I went for a big walk around the course. We cleaned up all the flags and Mando signs, and then we also set up for the Ace Race layout happening on Sunday. There is a massive Ace pot. I believe it's the Ace pot's going to be like $1,500, and because we're going to kind of cap it and then kind of create like a backup Ace pot for future events. So $1,500 ace pot. The longest hole out there is like 200. There's like a hole at 280 feet. There's a hole at 260 feet, and then everything else is 240 and in. So tons and tons of opportunities to get the ace. They're all very short. We threw all of them just to kind of test them out, and I aced in that one time through. So very very doable. Very short, very like straight to like very kind of pretty to scenic shots. So some turnovers, some hyzers. Good times though. So if you don't have anything going on this Sunday coming up, go check out Blazing Birdies. Guaranteed to be a good time. Someone's gonna get paid out. Like if the weather doesn't completely suck, like that tournament we did in October, where the weather was just absolutely miserable. Like I can almost guarantee someone's gonna ace. After the event of the Laura Palmer, it is tradition that we do the cherry pie eating contest. Caleb won MPO last year and did it. I won MPO this year and did it. I think that's going to be like a future thing that we kind of just push on whoever wins MPO. If you win MPO, you almost are committed to doing the cherry pie eating contest as well. Good times all around. I mean, it's super fun. Chris Otto, Bob, Hermaine, guys are absolutely awesome for being out there and doing it with us. Luke, our boy Luke Gent, won for the second year in a row. And he made me laugh so freaking hard. Where we're all cleaning up afterwards, and he's just like wearing the cherry pie like a badge of honor on his face, and he's talking to Max, and he goes, "So how do you think I would have done compared to like other people, not just the people here?" And I was like, "Luke, I was like, you win an amateur pie eating contest. I was like, you think you can go pro?" And like, you can kind of see it in his eyes where he had a little bit of like, I could go pro in this. That would be cool. So I'm encouraging it, man. Luke, if you're about it, dude, like go. Absolutely incredible. He ate so much of that freaking pie. I'll post a video on the Emerald City Discs Instagram today, and tag everybody in it. But I mean, he ate the entire pie in about a minute and a half. Like it was disgusting. It was so crazy. Like just absolutely nuts. And then before I get into the winners, I just want to kind of give a huge shout out to Brian Johnson. Brian is obviously like an incredible player here in Washington, and he's already earned so much of my respect. But he earned, I mean, just like so much more of my respect this past weekend. Round one, he shot absolute fire, shot 10 down. Round two, he really struggled, had a really tough, especially like back nine, and the way he handled it and his reactions to even the bad shots and all of that was just like so commendable. And I just want to really give like a special shout out to him, and like just the way he handled himself was so special. He's such an awesome talent here in Washington, and just continuously proves that he's a really nice guy on top of that too. So
Yeah. He's become
just
such a professional. It's so like his growth in like the last 3 years has been so insane. He has become so professional in the way he carries himself on the course and he plays as well. His game's gotten so good.
for sure. So definitely somebody that I mean, I'm definitely going to be rooting for. I think you should root for too. Easy guy to root for, just in general. So, yeah, for sure. Brian Johnson's the man. But going through the winners here, for the Laura Palmer 2, sponsored by Tweed's Cafe. I took down MPO. I beat Caleb in a one-hole playoff. We went to hole one, and I hit a pretty solid putt. Caleb put himself in a pretty tough spot. Coming in third is David Suyat. Congratulations to him. Really great finish by David. Winning MP40, we got Herman Rodriguez and Don Oridi and Scott Marson tying for second place. Winning MP65, we have Don Clark. Winning MA1, Caden Pearson. Coming in second place is Logan Lambert. And tying for third, we got Alexander Maccabee and Josh Resnick. Winning FA1, Naomi Suyat. I watched some of her videos, man. She is getting so good. She's going to be a force at some point here in Washington. I can guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
Taking down MA50 is our guy, Christopher Otto. Man, he is such a class. Christopher Otto's the fucking man, dude. I love him so much. Barely winning an MA60, we got the fucking GOAT, Chuck Knudsen, taking it down over Dave Collada and Dave Hardman, the pair of Daves. Chuck, actually, fun fact, and we'll get to this later, kind of next, but Chuck actually won 2 tournaments in one weekend, which is pretty fun. He did a different event on Saturday and won that one too, so just, GOAT status, no doubt. Winning MA70, we got Paul Koff. Winning MA2, we got Keegan Schultz over Greg Knapp and Austin Myers, who tied for second. Winning FA2, T-Bex, we got Bex Warich. Winning winning MA3, we got Clint Olson taking it down over Cooper Wilhelm and Josh Harrington. I want to give a special shout out to Robert Corrigan. Dude's super, super awesome. He also took part in the pie eating contest as well. So yeah, just the man. Winning MA4, we got Jason Elmsley taking it down over Kurt Summers. And then winning FA4, Anna Tanasi. So congratulations to all the winners out there. Really appreciate y'all coming out. It means a lot. Also happening this past weekend, we had the Skagit River Open. This was ran by Eric Dupinski out in Burlington. Taking it down was Jared Paul over Lucas Lotta and Jason Einsfield. Winning MP40, we got Kevin Merrill. Winning MP50, we got Milo Ami. Winning MA1, Joel Gleghorn III. Congratulations, Joel. Big fan of him. He's the best. MA40, we got Jackson Messner. FA40, we got Pat Benson. MA60, the fucking GOAT, Chuck Knudsen, winning this. That was the first of his 2 tournaments he won this weekend, so super impressive there. Winning MA2, we got our guy, Jacob Stilley. Love him, man. That's awesome to see. FA2, Cami Emmons. Winning MA3, we got Curran Wilbur. And then taking down FA3, we got Lindsay Lang. Very, very cool there. And then one last tournament we're going to go through here. And that is Disking at the Depot. This was happening out at Bremerton. Taking this down was Spencer Stewart. Winning FP40 was ECD teammate Jen Rice. Winning MP50 was James Hustis. Winning MP70, Marty Smith. MP80, Barry Fisher. MA1, Tyler Bates. FA1, Leilani Battle. MA40, Adam Utley. FA40, Jennifer Awesome Krasbinski. MA50, Bruce Sweeney Weaver. MA60, John Johnson. MA70, Rich McClelland. MA2, Hayden Lang. MA3, Jeff Forrester. And MA4, Kurt Summers, I think he won another one too. So congratulations to all of them, everybody who competed this weekend. I don't know where it was, and I probably should have found that earlier, but I want to give a very special shout out to Mikey Behringer, our Team ECD teammate. He did something so cool this weekend that I feel like never happens. Mikey and Quinn Lawler aced the same hole on back-to-back throws. During tournament play, so steps up, aces, he steps up, aces, literally stacks them on top of each other. They took a really funny picture where Quinn got on top of Mikey to kind of stack them too, so that's really, really cool. Big special shout out to them, so love to see it. Moving right along, we got the tournament look ahead presented by Disc Golf Threads.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
There can be only one World Wrestling Federation champion.
Acknowledge me.
My jersey is coming super soon. I just messaged the guy yesterday at Disc Golf Threads. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, but as always, go over there, use the promo code DWD, get yourself a little discount even before my jersey comes out. But I am super amped about them. Happening this weekend, as we mentioned, going to be Blazing Birdies, huge ace pot. It's going to be awesome. Get out to South Fork. As I mentioned, a lot of the holes are under 250 feet. There's only 2 holes that are over that. One's at 260, one's at 280. Very aceable. Everything's very wide open. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Someone's getting paid. They're going to get that cash, bro. They're getting it. Also happening this weekend, we got the Raymond Psych. This is happening down at Fort Stellicum, ran by Ted Couliard, Matt Van Dusen, and Aaron, who is the social media director for the event. 2 days at Fort Stellicum. Pros are playing rhododendron and then going northwest. AMs are going northwest, rhododendron. Should be good. I believe all the pro divisions are playing the long pad on 7. And then I heard the baskets are going to be like in the shorter positions, which I don't play Stellicum enough to know the difference between the short positions and the long positions. So I'll find out tomorrow when I go down there what's really changed or whatnot. So, but it should be a good time. It's going to be one of the bigger events happening this weekend. Moving right along into the weather look ahead presented by AGL Discs.
Weather look ahead.
Together we can reduce, reuse, and recycle for a greener future for disc golfers.
Oh yeah. So weather we're going to do Tacoma, which is where the race psych is happening. Temperatures are looking pretty nice. I think that like false spring is officially done. I think we're in spring. I'm not seeing anything that's really going to drop that far below that mid 40s kind of area. Maybe some early mornings, you might be a little chilly, but I think we're going to be fine. It looks like I'm not too worried about rain for this weekend either, really. I mean, don't, be a little prepared, have your shit ready, but should be fine. Winds are looking pretty nice all day too. They're going to be up a little bit for me tomorrow while I practice, but should be good in Tacoma for the weekend. Should be nice. Getting into North Bend, which is a little different. It looks like tomorrow, being Wednesday, it's going to be pretty chilly out there. And then as we get into the weekend, it's going to be so nice. I mean, we're looking at 60s, low 60s, high 50s for both Saturday and Sunday. Minimal precipitation. Looks like the winds are going to be down on Sunday as well. So I think all the conditions are just right for someone to get that huge ace pot. So you automatically get entered into the ace pot when you sign up for that tournament anyways, so there's no spending an extra $5 to kind of like risk it on yourself. No, you're in there, man. Just signing up, you're into play. So get out there, do it. I mean, it's huge. It's going to be awesome. If I wasn't doing race psych, I would 100% be out there trying to cash in that ace. No doubt. Okay, moving right along. This is our local course review. This one's going to be a little kind of different setup and different style. We're going to do like South Fork Landing, and we're going to do kind of our like alternate layouts, basically. So, Ollie, we just did this past weekend. What are some of your takeaways from the alternate layout?
I enjoy it. I think it takes the course and puts a different twist on it. I know you like to call it the hard mode, and I think it's a good way to put like a twist on the normal. The the harder holes on the normal layout kind of get left in there, or like a little spiced up in a way. So you see that. I think it's this version of it that we just did was pretty solid. There's only like a couple holes I liked in the past, but you can't really do like there's reasons why you do them like that now, for layout and fluidity of the course and stuff. So there's like bigger pros to the fluidity and stuff with how the layout is in place now. Yeah, I think there's a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of good holes there, and yeah, definitely on the harder side of South Fork Landing layouts for sure. But all really obtainable. It's like just like not impossible. Very very like if you just hit your lines and have two good shots on some of the longer holes, or you really nail your drive, it can lead you to a putt and opportunity to get that bird. But like you could definitely score well, but definitely harder for sure.
Yeah. What is like something that you might change like about that layout?
Um, I kind of I kind of miss like the little like kind of peninsula islandy hole. I think is a good it's good, and it's gotten better throughout the year. Having the little like it's like in the towards like the restaurant stuff, like the furthest
Oh
hole
yeah,
that
yeah.
way.
With all the hazard.
Yeah, I think that one and the one after are both pretty good holes, but they're like I don't think they necessarily like hard holes. Like I think which I mean I definitely saw people struggle on both of those holes, so it's not like it's a impossible thing or like anything like that, but um I don't know. I don't have too many improvements. I kind of liked when we used that like little alleyway where uh like right after original, I think it's 15 is to like
Oh yeah.
yeah. I think there was a cool hole there that was challenging as well, but again, there's like a fluidity part of the course and stuff like that. So, and then also like back by 14s, I remember we had a tee pad back there that was kind of fun to shoot from 15. But
Yeah.
now with the new tee pads, I think it's like really important to use those and like as much as we can. So I think it is cool, and no, I think it was really done well. Like the fluidity, I think is the big part, which was really really clear and true. Um, I do miss the shot from 14's tee pad to 16's basket. I think the most. I really liked that shot. I think it was
Yeah,
just so fun. Still had a fun, scary water carry.
yeah,
Had options for like you could throw just a small hyzer and then like a pitch up to that and like get the easy three. But like, oh no, I really did enjoy. I like that hole a lot. But I think doing it the way I think offers a great challenge in that hole from 14 to where the basket's at, and then fluid to get over there and then get off that hole. So I think it all works out.
yeah. Yeah, that hole is really fun to play. Honestly, I really liked it too. This hole that we play from 14's tee pad now, I think is like, I mean, that maybe we're gonna get into it in a minute, but it's like one of my favorite holes out there. It's just such a fun shot. It's so scary. There's so much that can happen, but it also can be like really, it can be so simple if you want it to be
Yeah,
so
I just
simple.
I just don't want to like risk it and lose my favorite
I
disc
know.
because I literally risked it and lost my favorite disc and never got it back. So it's like, do I care about my favorite disc or do I care about a bogey? It's like I'm just gonna be so safe and hit the net every time. But it's like
Mhm.
I just wish there like if I knew I was getting my disc back, I'd probably do it every time. But
Yeah.
now that I've lost one and that fairway finder's just gone, I'm like, brother,
Yeah, I can't believe it didn't come back because our diver went out there fishing. I was really, really surprised.
PTSD, man.
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, totally. I mean, like I said before, I think the biggest feedback I got overall was hole 14 going over the water. People just wanted a drop zone, I think somewhere. I think people want a drop zone on the other side of the water. Which again, I think, when it comes down to it, is like I want it to be really challenging. But at the same time I want to make the course as inclusive to all divisions as possible too. So trying to find that balance is always going to be challenging. As you mentioned, that little peninsula, or the little like island hole with the hazard around it, we made a big landing strip that leads right up to it for people who can't throw that full distance. There's an area where you can reasonably lay up instead of being forced to take hazard, and that kind of stuff. So, we're always kind of like looking for those little tweaks. Um, One of the tweaks that I was kind of, like I mentioned before, I was questioning if it was going to work out well or not, was hole 12 for the tournament, which is hole 13. Putting a Mando left of that first tree, I was wondering if that was going to make, like a really long backup or something like that on there, but it worked out really well. I think it was really, really clean. Is your bike getting blown away on the porch?
Not.
That's funny. Yes. Um, So yeah, I mean, I really like that layout. I
Yeah.
feel like Max and I have worked really hard the last 2 years on it. So
No, it was awesome
um,
playing with you in the first round, and I got to play with Max in the second round. So Matt playing with Max is always awesome. So it's like getting to hear and also be like, yeah, like I hear about the work that you do to get this course to be like this, and like it is really, it was awesome. It was cool. You guys killed it with that design.
yeah, Max deserves so much of the credit for it. Honestly, the amount of work that he does there, like week in and week out, just in terms of like keeping like things trim and that alternate tee pad on 18, that was like him and a couple of his friends who are like arborists. That was them that when they got permission from the parks department to go back there and clean some stuff out, and then they did so much of that. So really like cannot say how much we appreciate Max Spears out there doing all that he does, really. And then the other layouts that we do out there have been like the Ace Run layout, as mentioned. It's like really short. I think it's really fun. We've only done it a couple of times now. I don't know if I necessarily have like a favorite like hole there because they're all kind of the same, where they're all like a little over 200 feet and like pretty straight or that kind of thing. So um, yeah, what's your favorite hole on the alt layout? And then outside of that, what's your least favorite hole as well?
Um, I'm bad with the numbers on this layout. Um, it's hole 11's tee pad to 12's basket. I like a lot.
Hole 11. Yeah,
The
that hole rocks.
par four. You just throw kind of like a shot that doesn't hyzer too much. That's kind of straight but stable enough to not get you into the thick of what hole 11 is. and then going into like if you hit that shot well, it really rewards that left side to have a clean look at going towards the green. Um, yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I've never had success on that hole besides when I was allowed to go to the right. and,
Yeah.
and then also, so like I never had success going up the middle before this weekend, and I kind of dissed down on what I thought like I needed to try to get like a par four distance, and like really hit my lines, and so I ended up even better on the second round than that first round on that hole, and then got the birdie, which was good. But I think that hole is probably my favorite. It kind of rocks. You're in the middle of the course. You're kind of feeling it. And then my least favorite would probably be, I don't mind it. It's the one after you do hole seven's tee pad to hole five's basket, and then you go. It's like I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I think it's the one after that. The like through the to the like the tree out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I think I liked it when it was a par four more. Um,
Oh, from Seven's tee pad over there.
yeah, I think I liked that a little more. I think it just created like, I don't know. I don't think I ever would be in that much better of a position where that tee pad's at. But I think it just was a fun opportunity to try to get closer to that tree line to make that shot a little more parkable for me. Even though it's definitely gettable and it was playing really well. But I think, I don't know. I think I'll just go with that one.
Yeah, for sure. I think my favorite hole out there, I think I'm going to agree with you. My favorite hole is 11 to 12. That is kind of like sparked a lot of that. Was like Max and I just kind of out there messing around, being like, oh, if we could, and then we were realizing it was really easy just to bleed discs out to the left, or like if we made an OB line there, and it that kind of like sparks a lot of that, and then you kind of start messing around from there. So I agree. I think that's my favorite hole. It offers so much because you can even kind of get lucky and just throw a disc too straight and then make it through that line of trees and have the easiest upshot ever. So I do think that is also my favorite hole. My least favorite hole, I think, is now hole one, actually, because the Mando tree that I was using beforehand got cut down, and so I just moved it over. You know what I mean? It's right there. But it's just like so wide open now that I actually questioned a lot if I was even going to leave I was even going to put a Mando up and just kind of allow people to throw a backhand on the right side or do the turnover. Ultimately, Max and I decided just to kind of leave it as it was beforehand. But that hole's fine. I just don't love it, and I feel like maybe there's something better we can do or something like that because the basket's in such a great location that I'd like to maybe mess with that one a little bit or kind of put a little thought into that one in the future. So I think that's my least favorite hole there. You ready to give it a rating there?
I think so.
O-Dog, what you got?
So wait, what did I have South Fork at? Just curious.
You had South Fork at 7.4. I had it at 8.75, and our new UDisc rating has it at 8.8.
I think Mountain View gets me 8-0.
8.0? Tight. That's nice. Yeah, I'm going with my same rating of 8.75 because I think that's already pretty high. I do want to like add a little bit to it. Just like I'm going to go 8.85 just as like a little like bonus. But the park already offers so much. I think that's good. And then I'm going to give us the same rating that you just gave to South Fork Landing of just like an 8.8. So because there's no real way to kind of give us our own UDisc rating for there. So. Yeah, this will come up in like I said, in our posts later, probably in like a week or so, as I kind of run through all of them. All right, time for the Pro Tour breakdown. You ready, O-Dog?
Yeah.
All right, hit us in 3, 2, 1, go.
The Cup of Champions and the handsome motherfucker Nicholas taking down the first major of his career. What a finish. Finnish cowboy, the best woods player in the world, my disc golf crush, all just names Nicholas Antila goes by. MPO is filled with the usual suspects like Gannon, Wysocki, Heimberg, Barella. Nice to see Barella podium. The number one ranked FPO player in the world came out and proved why she deserves that title in a European invasion in FPO as Silva Sayer Saarinen wins the first major of the season. Other Europeans at the top include Henna Blomros, Lita, Lesberga, Evelina Sullivan, Holly Hanley. Finishes in third, just ahead of who I think is the best American FPO player, and own the GOAT Scoggins. Let's go.
You gloss over those European names pretty smoothly.
Bro,
I'm
Lita,
pretty sure I spelled them right, too.
dude, I'm not gonna. What I've learned is streaming, people will love to correct you, so you just say what you can, Lesberga, I got that. Lita,
Yeah.
I got that. You know what I'm talking about.
Lita-
Ledomaki, I know.
Letamaki's not that bad.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. If I'm looking at it in the heat of the moment, I'm not gonna.
Sure.
I'm not even gonna test it. I will say that wrong.
Lesberga, whatever that first name is, Syntasia, I got nothing on that.
Whew.
Nothing. All right. That was awesome. Yeah, Champions Cup was a lot of fun.
It was.
Lynchburg looks really the course down in Lynchburg looks really awesome. I played there a couple years ago in the old layout at Worlds in 2024. That place is incredible. I mean, it's really incredible disc golf. So cool to see. Congratulations to Niklas Gannon coming in second place. Our Discmania group chat was all abuzz about it. So very cool. Time for sound off. Ollie, hit us with that Sounders update.
So really cool. Yesterday at my company, we had. I just want to shout this out. We did lose to Tigris in the first leg, 0-2. So they're coming back on Wednesday. So tomorrow they'll be playing here in Seattle for the second leg of that CONCACAF Cup. We're gonna have to get 3 goals win by to get that win, or try to tie it up and see what we can do from there. But we have another game against St. Louis on Saturday, which is going to be awesome. And then at my office, what I was getting into, we had Craig Weibel, who's the general manager, and he's a former MLS player, come in, and he was ripping packs, MLS cards with us. And it was really cool to watch him. He was like opening the packs and literally he's a GM of a professional team. He's going to know every single player, and but knows enough to be like giving you so much information. He was like, this guy before he signed with LA was almost a sounder. It's like stuff you can't even find on the internet. Really cool stuff. And he was really funny as well. So it was cool to see that. And you can just literally chat with him, ask him questions and stuff. And it was really cool. So Craig Weibel, he was down and ripping packs with us, and definitely will be down, I think, doing that some more. But we got St. Louis on Saturday, and tomorrow Tigris UANL. Hopefully get that second leg win in the quarterfinal.
Hell yeah. Very cool.
Ooh.
All right, time for the... Whoa. Gotta go get his bike.
Oh.
Yeah, go get it. All right, time for the ODP guarantee. It is a Darkwing Disc takeover this week. As I mentioned before, it is WrestleMania week. So I'm taking over the show with some of my WrestleMania predictions. You didn't miss anything, bro. Just introing that. It's WrestleMania week. I'm taking over the guarantee. So my first guarantee, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, and Kirby Snyder guarantees Roman Reigns comes out on top with the WWE Championship. I am also a bigger CM Punk fan, but I think they're setting up Roman Reigns to come back for a little mini go again. So
That'd be cool.
My second guarantee, because we're doing 3, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton with Pat McAfee. And I think we're going to have another title change, because I think Randy Orton is going to beat Cody Rhodes. I think this whole thing about Pat McAfee doing the whole, if Randy Orton loses, I'm leaving forever. WWE loves having Pat McAfee in there. He does huge numbers for the WWE. No way they're gonna let him just leave like that. So I'm saying Randy Orton is gonna take down Cody Rhodes. And then for my last prediction, this one, Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. So, I am going to predict, even though I think a lot of people are saying that Obafemi is going to win because you cannot bury this young stud. Obafemi is the next like legitimate guy in the WWE. He's the next monster. But I am guaranteeing that Brock Lesnar takes down Obafemi. But I think the way it's going to go down, and I think Obafemi is going to fucking give it to him the whole match. I think Brock Lesnar is going to be selling for him really hard. So I think Obafemi is going to beat the crap out of him. But at the very end of the match, I think Brock Lesnar is going to put him in like a Kimura clutch or something and make Obafemi tap out or find some kind of like little bullshit way to win in the end. But it's a good way to make Obafemi look really, really strong, but still not have Brock Lesnar lose kind of in his last couple of matches. So I got Roman Reigns over CM Punk. I got Randy Orton over Cody Rhodes. And I got Brock Lesnar over Obafemi. Guaranteed to happen.
Love it.
So, all right, getting into the KO question of the week. Who is the Greg Maddux of disc golf?
I want to hear yours.
I got a couple of different answers. My initial, so when I think of, the Greg Maddux of disc golf, I think of a guy who's making the game happen kind of around him. Somebody who's not throwing as hard as everybody else is, but is still, one of the best and kind of does everything else so well. So my first thought was maybe like a Chandler Kramer, someone who's just a really good course general, someone who's just managing the course really well. But to be honest, I don't think Chandler Kramer necessarily has the success of kind of a Greg Maddux and that kind of thing. So I think I'm actually going to go with a Greg Barsby. Plenty of success. He wasn't necessarily the best distance thrower. I don't think at any point he was necessarily the undisputed best putter in the world. He's just been super good and at the top of all those things without necessarily being the top guy at them. So I'm kind of on a Barsby type of thing.
Oh, I like Barsby. That's a good one.
Some of my other thoughts, I had a Nate Doss and possibly a Dave Feldberg type of situation.
Yeah,
but
that's who I was looking at. The only kind of for a more modern one, I was also thinking kind of like a James Conrad,
oh, good one.
that was that was kind of my more modern day one was going to be James Conrad, and then I was looking at Dave Feldberg or something. But James, you got the championship, you've had success at a lot of these I don't know. I think
that's huge.
I think James Conrad's mine.
I think that's a really, really good one. I didn't even think about Conrad because he's kind of that he's not the furthest thrower. He's a great putt. Yeah, it's he does all the stuff well, but not necessarily top elite level. So
won it once. It's got to the pinnacle once.
I think he won USDGC too. So
okay, boom.
Yeah, I think he's got a couple of titles under his belt, which just kind of goes into the point a little more. So
more success in that. Yeah,
that's awesome. I think that was a really, really good one. Comment down below who you think is the Greg Maddux of disc golf, and I will go through. I'll pick whatever I think is the most interesting comment down there, and I will give a Darkwing disc Kirby Snyder stamped disc. I don't know what.
James Conrad hasn't won an event since the World Championship.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he cashed out super hard. he did. He's doing all right for himself, though, no doubt. So. All right, moving right into the draft this week, and like we said, in honor of WrestleMania week, we are drafting WWE wrestlers. So I'm going to go ahead and take the first pick here, and I'm going with, I think, one of the undisputed goats of wrestling of the WWE. I'm going with, give me a hell yeah, brother. I'm going with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, that's a good take. Good take.
Ollie, what do you got for number 2 and number 3?
So I don't think you'll get the guy, one of my favorites, or I think you could, but I'm not. I'm gonna take the Undertaker
On my list.
and I'm gonna take John Cena.
Not on my list, actually. John Cena's not one of my guys.
That's okay. That's not who I was talking about. The guy. I'm holding on to someone.
Tight. Okay. Solid right there. All right. So for my next pick, I'm gonna go with Okay, feel free to veto this, and I will. I do have like an easy pivot, but I would like to pick a tag team if I can.
Go for it.
I'm gonna pick the Hardy Boys. Absolutely awesome, Matt and Jeff Hardy. Um, I mean, one of my favorite tag teams growing up. What they did with like the Edge and Christian Dudley Boys TLC matches is just that's my favorite match. SummerSlam TLC, incredible. Um, for my next pick, I'm gonna go with one of my newer favorite wrestlers. He is so much fun to watch. He's currently in the WWE, and that is a luchador named Penta.
Hmm.
Penta is the man. He's got a great entrance. I have a replica Penta mask that I bought because I'm such a fan of him. So Penta is my next pick.
I get two.
Yep, you got back to back.
All right. I think I'm leaving my goat lucha out of this from Mexico. So we're gonna take Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. That's one of my
HBK.
goats.
Yeah.
And WWE 2K16, he was an
Yep.
animal. Also,
Yep.
they went through like the whole storyline of like this. That was like the best story mode I think I played in any WWE game, where it was just so good. Where they went through the history and like put you into those events where it was really fun. And
Yeah.
then, I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put Eddie Guerrero.
Tight, dude.
We're gonna throw Eddie Guerrero in there, the late great.
Tight. Good pick.
We'll put Eddie Guerrero in there. I learned a lot about him only after his death, so it's like, but I don't know. I watched so many clips. It was cool.
Nah, he was the man. His whole thing with like removing his boot so Kurt Angle couldn't put him in like an ankle lock and stuff like that. The way he would like hit the chair on the ground, throw it at the guy, and fall back was just like such a funny trick on the ref. Yeah, I love Eddie Guerrero is a great pick. My last pick here is going to be kind of in the same generation of Eddie Guerrero, and I'm going with Chris Jericho. The way Chris Jericho has kind of evolved over the years and has changed his gimmick so many times. When he first came into WWE and he was doing the Y2J thing, I hated him as a kid, and then I just only kind of grew to like appreciate and kind of like love to hate him as I was getting older. Everywhere from like him just being like, "You just made the list," is all just like so good. So, Chris Jericho. Honorable mention on my list here. I have Kane. I have Triple H, Kurt Angle, CM Punk, Sheamus, who is just like so much fun to watch. And then one of my new favorite wrestlers, who's not even in WWE yet, is Sol Ruka. She's a girl who she's in NXT. She's like incredible. She does the Soul Snatcher, which is her finishing move, where she like goes to the rope and like does a front flip and hits the person with a cutter. She's incredible. She's such an athlete. So special shout out to all of them as well.
Hell yeah! Shout out Atlantis Jr. That's my goat.
Hell yeah.
All right, y'all. Episode 105. Oh God.
I'm so excited for this quote. Oh my god.
You
You got it?
they say that all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, I'm not normal. So you got 25% at best at beat me. Then you add Kurt Angle into the mix, and your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at a sacrifice, you got a 33 and 1/3 chance of winning, but I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and 1/3 chance minus 25% chance, and you got an 8 and 1/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning if we was to go one-on-one. And then add a 66 and 2/3%, I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at sacrifice. Aim high, shoot low. We will see you next week.
Dynamite!
Peace!